Hey guys, it's Jess, and I'm excited to share a new video tutorial with you today for the Hedgehog Hollow. I'm using the April 2020 box from the Hedgehog Hollow to create my card today. I decided that the stamp from this box went perfectly with a wood grained background, so I decided to go ahead and create my own wood grain. I have been loving this technique. I originally found it from Dawn from W+9, I think maybe even like a year ago. And I have been loving making these backgrounds ever since. All you have to do is score the background or the piece of cardstock that you're going to be working on. I started out with 1 inch measurements, and then I felt like it wasn't quite enough of the board look that I was going for. So I went back in and scored at every 1/2 inch mark as well. So if you're starting off, you may want to go ahead and just do the 1/2 inch. All I'm using here is a bone folder and a little ruler that came with my MISTI Creative Corners. But if you have any other sort of ruler or scoring tool, you can use whatever you have. I am using some Distress Oxides here and going over most of the background with my lightest color. I'll have everything linked down below for you guys in case you want to check anything out or you're interested in the specific colors that I've used. But yeah, I'm just swiping the ink pad directly onto my cardstock, and then you can start to see that the areas where I scored sort of resist it because they have an impression there. So that impression prevents the ink from really getting too deep in, and then you start to be able to be able to see the lines of the board effect. So I go in progressively with a darker shade each time, just using something a little bit darker and keeping it a little bit more towards the outside. I want a sort of highlighted area in the center for my board look, but you could do it however you like. If you prefer it to have dark areas all over, that's fine too. I just like the way that it looks with the highlight in the middle. So you can see I'm continuing to add those darker colors, getting darker as I go, and just making that area on the outside shorter each time. When I go in with my darkest color, I did spend a little bit more time kind of making sure that the edges were nice and dark. That way I was able to get that nice and dark look on the outside. I did decide to use the Sawdust is Man Glitter sentiment and stamp combination. I thought this was hilarious, as my husband is very crafty in the woodworking department, and I just thought that this was the perfect sentiment for him with the saw blade and the imagery. I don't know, I just love it. It went perfect with the wood grain look, so I had to use it. I did go ahead and cut my card base down to 3.75 by 5. My cardstock was a little bit weird shaped to begin with because it was a scrap. Otherwise, I probably would have left it at 4 by 5 1/4 so that it fit nicely on an A2 size card, but I just cut it down a little bit further to make it work. Then I mounted it on a white A2 size card base when I was finished. So you can see me rubbing the stamp there with the palm of my hand and then my fingers, and the stamp gets a little bit cloudy. This is kind of a way to treat the stamp so that it takes ink and it doesn't, I don't know, when you get a new stamp, it can sometimes not really take ink that well until it's been conditioned. And rubbing your hand on it like that and making it cloudy for whatever reason, it makes the stamp absorb the ink in and actually be able to stamp it nice and crisply. Whereas sometimes it might pool up on the stamp itself when you try to ink it. I don't know. I find that this helps. Let me know if it helps you or if you have a way of conditioning your stamps. So I used my mini MISTI to stamp that out just so that I could repeat stamp it if I needed to. And then I went ahead and folded down a white A2 size card base. You can see I got a smudge on it. Whoops. But my image is going to go ahead and cover that up, so I didn't care. I'm still going to use it. To give this just a little bit of added interest, I did go ahead and pop this up on some foam tape. This foam tape is from scrapbook.com and it is 2 inches wide, so it's a really big roll. I absolutely love it for popping up card bases like this or card panels onto a card base. So I just did that, popped it right on there, and that finished off my card, you guys. This came together so fast and so simply. I know that this is going to be a staple and a go-to for whenever I need to create a masculine card. There are a lot of other awesome stamps and images and all kinds of stuff in this box as well, so I can't wait to share more projects with you guys guys later this month. Be sure to come back and check things out so you don't miss it. All right, so here is a look at the finished card. I really hope you guys love it as much as I do. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in another one really soon.